Thank you, Chair. Madam Special Rapporteur, your report correctly notes that sports are a valuable source of physical and mental well-being, and that women and girls face very real and serious challenges, such as violence, harassment, and discrimination. We agree with many recommendations on these points. Your report appropriately says that all persons, irrespective of their gender identity, are entitled to live a life free from discrimination. Unfortunately, in that very same report, you erroneously conflate transgender persons with intersex persons or others with naturally occurring variations in sex characteristics and use demeaning language to refer to transgender persons. Your report also notes that women and girls are disproportionately subjected to hostile threats and harassment in virtual spaces. We share this concern and are deeply troubled by the spread of online harassment, abuse, and gender disinformation that over 85% of women and girls have faced online. That is why we were dismayed during the Olympics to see you engage in similar behavior, spreading false and harmful information about the gender of Algerian boxer Iman Khalif. We take pride in our American women athletes who stand for equality and safety in sports, like the brave USA Gymnastics athletes who spoke out about the abuse they experienced from their team doctor, like 11-time Olympic medalist Simone Biles, who shed a light on the importance of taking care of one's mental health, and like Olympic and activist Megan Rapinoe, who fought for equal pay for women U.S. soccer players and has been a powerful advocate for the inclusion of all women and girls in sports, as we will continue to do. I thank you.
Link very clearly. To the remarks made by the esteemed delegate from the US, I'm very glad that we agree on many conclusions and recommendations. As the US delegate knows, however, what I have included in my report mirrors the position that I have already expressed to the US with relations to releasing its final implementation regulations for Title IX, on the Education Amendment Act of 1972, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex in education programs. And at the time, I had expressed my concern about expanding the category of sex to include gender identity. I would therefore derive from that, like to differ with the esteemed delegate of the US, that I was using demeaning language by referring to males who identify as women exactly as that, since it is factually correct. Human rights language and principles must continue to be consistent with science and facts, including biological ones. And here, multiple studies have offered evidence that athletes born male have proven performance advantages in sports throughout their life, although this is most apparent after puberty. And in my report, I have advocated for the inclusive participation of everyone, irrespective of how they identify. At the same time, non-discrimination based on sex is recognized in all major international human rights agreements. And as I said elsewhere in response to Malaysia, sex must be understood in its ordinary meaning to mean biological sex, and conflating sex and gender identity throughout the creation of a legal sex category has been confusing and problematic. It's not uncommon to have a tension of rights in human rights law, and part of our duty is to actually work through that tension of rights in order to minimize harm and ensure that the rights of everybody can be respected. And this is what I have done through calling for maintaining female-only categories in sport, while also open categories for persons who wish to participate, irrespective of how they identify. I would like to invite states, including the US, to center the rights of women and girls, including females who have spoken, rallied about the unfairness and loss of dignity when they lose female-only categories. Many of them have lost jobs, sponsorship opportunities, and have been harmed. I'm also dismayed that while championing the equal rights of transgender persons, there has been no concern expressed, as it is often the case, about the rights of women who identify as men or women who do not identify as women, meaning trans men. And this obviously has one clear reason, because we know that trans men do not have any biological advantages. However, the proposal that I have made, the recommendation I have made, guarantees the rights of women who do not identify as women to also participate in sport in safety, dignity, and fairness. For example, in the Paris Olympics, a woman who did not identify as a woman competed the 1,500-meter race in the female category, therefore maintaining her safety and dignity. I did not actually refer to the names of any athletes, whether in the Paris Olympics or otherwise. What happened at the Paris Olympics could have been avoided and can be avoided if in the future the IOC's inclusion guidelines recognize that there should be no discrimination based on sex and not only gender and sex variations. I will stop here. Thank you.